On December 8th, the first trailer for Wonder Woman 1984 was published. In this video, Tom, Rob, and myself are going to give our thoughts on the trailer and compare the information given in it with the story leaks from the test screenings and what we expect of the final movie. Tom, let's begin with you. What does Wonder Woman mean to you? And how excited are you for this movie now that you've seen the first trailer?
I've always been a pretty big Wonder Woman fan. I wouldn't say she's like on my top 5, but maybe top 10. I enjoyed the Linda Carter show when I was a kid. Enjoyed her on Super Friends. I always wondered why she hadn't had a film till finally a couple years ago, and that's one thing I kept saying throughout the entire ordeal. When it came to the Wonder Woman film and her appearance in Batman v Superman, I wasn't very impressed, especially with Batman v Superman. I thought she was pointless in that. Like, she really had no place in there. And when we get to the Wonder Woman movie, the first act was really good. The second act, it started going downhill, and the third act was just utter garbage. And I was not a huge fan of the film. I got a little bit of flack for that, but I was just honest with my opinion. I understood why a lot of people liked it, considering what we had gotten to that point in the DC universe. So this was, a step up that I didn't deny. So going into this trailer, I didn't really have very high expectations. Plus, knowing what we did about the leaks going into it, that never helps. Working on a channel like this, that's kind of like collateral damage of sorts. But in this, the trailer doesn't look bad. I kind of liked the overall aesthetic. The music choice wasn't horrible. I get where they're going with it. I mean, this trailer looks better than the first film to me, is the point I was getting to, but that's not saying a lot, unfortunately. So, Rob.
My older brother always read comics, read a lot of DC, Batman, Superman, Justice League. Don't remember him reading a whole lot of Wonder Woman as the comics would filter down to me. But yeah, as I collected comics myself in the 80s and 90s, Wonder Woman was always kind of a staple, And, of course, remember from Super Friends, the Linda Carter show, actually the Bruce Timm animated version of Wonder Woman is actually very good, that they made a number of years ago. But so not a major fan, but always liked the character, always enjoyed the character. This looks pretty good, actually. I like that it looks colorful. I like the aesthetic. I'm liking Gal Gadot more and more as Wonder Woman. She seems very personable. She seems as a person, she seems very warm, very charming.
She did seem a bit more comfortable in the role in this trailer.
Yeah, she's not trying. She seems like she's relaxing more, and she's not trying as hard to sell it. That she seems more relaxed. She's more comfortable in the role. Like I said, it looks to me like an 80s superhero movie. I mean, that's all. It's all appropriate. It's set in the 80s. Like I said, I'm not a major fan of Wonder Woman, but I can appreciate where they're going with this. So, Andre?
Yeah, as for me, let's begin with what Wonder Woman is to me, which really isn't all that much. I don't really have any history with the character prior to the previous movie. I've never read the comics, didn't have them in my country, period. I'm aware of the Linda Carter TV series, as in I know of its existence, but I've never seen it. Again, was never on in my country. So when the previous movie came, I went in knowing pretty much nothing. I learned about the character in that movie. I liked that movie fine. Didn't love it, but it was perfectly okay. Was perfectly serviceable. And this one, the leaks, as I said in my previous editorial, at face value, they don't seem very promising. However, that was one person's opinion taken out of context. The movie can still be a very fun ride. And that's the impression that I get from the trailer. The movie looks kind of fun. What really sells the trailer to me is the music. Without the music, I think you'd be left with a very meh trailer. That's perfect selection of music, if you ask me, which really elevates everything else and goes perfectly with the pictures, with the cinematography as we see it, the lighting, everything. So it just looks like a really fun ride. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun based on what we've seen. But there is more to it than what we've seen, because this is one of the movies where we have had story leaks from test screenings. Rather, there's one report from one person who attended a test screening and who didn't like it, and the entire report was colored by this person's perception of the movie. Still, there were some things in his reporting that at face value didn't sound too good. Tom, can you remind us all what that was?
Well, the basic outline was there was this monkey paw aspect of the story where you make a wish and it always comes at a price. And we learned that Diana's character accidentally wishes for Steve Trevor to come back. And he does, but kind of like in a, I know I'm going to date myself badly with this reference, but Heaven Can Wait kind of situation where he's in another body, but she can see him as Steve. I don't know if that's something they'll take out or change. That's one thing this trailer didn't give us, but that trailer did show us that all these things are pretty much the situation. The setup of the villain was pretty much the same. The other villain, Cheetah, we don't really get much of her, but we do get to see her as her normal self, I guess, in the movie. We know she eventually makes a wish with the villain, and that's probably how she gets powers and so on. But we also heard rumors about Wonder Woman's powers being, I don't remember if the leak said they were taken away, but they were diluted, I believe was the description. And if this is the case, and some of the costume choices they're making and some of the other aspects of this show or of this movie are really giving me vibes of the 70s Denny O'Neil run that damn near destroyed Wonder Woman. And for those who aren't familiar with that, it was in the height of course, the feminist movement and all that kind of stuff. And he had taken away some of Wonder Woman's powers to make her, in his eyes, more relatable. And also took away some of her more well-known aspects of her character, put her in a lot more normal kind of outfits for the time, taught her kung fu and all this other crap. And women in droves turned against the comic because they felt like the most powerful feminist icon in comic books, and not just in comic books, but almost in general, a lot of them felt like had her powers taken away from her. Not only at worst, it was at the hands of a man. So it was a big to do. I believe Dennis O'Neil has apologized several times in public for that. And of course, I think they did a big course correction in the comic, but it feels like I'm getting a lot of vibes from that run, and it kind of worries me. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Rob, let's start with you. I don't know if you even remember that run much.
I don't remember that, but that was well before I started reading comics. Yeah, but no, that's a run I'm really not. I'm familiar with the name Denny O'Neil. I mean, Denny O'Neil wrote some epic Batman stories. He actually worked a long time at Marvel, did a lot of work on G.I. Joe, did a lot of work on comics, but totally unfamiliar with that run.
I'm as familiar with that run as I am with every other Wonder Woman run, which is to say I'm not familiar with it at all.
Andre, let me ask you, are you familiar with the film Heaven Can Wait, since Tom mentioned it?
Is it with Kevin Costner?
No, it's actually with Warren Beatty, which is actually a remake of an old movie from 1941 called Here Comes Mr. Jordan.
And honestly, I probably should have. No. I probably should have said they remade it again about 10 years back. Actually, more like 20 years back with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
God, I'm old.
It's actually a very good. It's a very good movie. You probably would enjoy it. But anyway, so
it's about a guy who dies young and he gets a second chance to redeem himself and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And he comes back to Earth, but it's not as himself. It's as another man. Mm-hmm. But he's the guy inside. But yeah, here's from the Denny O'Neil run.
I was fed like me as well.
Is she beating up Johnny Bravo? What's going on over there?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
This is her in her white outfit and her kung fu.
Oh yeah, that looks terrible.
But yeah, speaking of the villain, we didn't get a good look at the villain either. I don't know what you guys thought about that. We did get to see Kristen Wiig, but just in glasses and a frumpy dress and all that kind of stuff. We didn't get to see her in any type of cheetah-looking outfit. What do you guys think about that aspect?
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, it's a full-length trailer, but essentially it's a teaser trailer because the movie is still so far off. So now they just want to get the trailer out there, maybe to capitalize on Star Wars and more increased interest with that. But they may not be ready to show the movie's villain or Cheetah or whatever her name is yet.
I'd rather not see the villain. I'd rather not see her in as her full villainous self. You know, leave a little mystery. You know, I'm not saying mystery box. I'm not saying that. Just leave a little, you know, something to entice. Ooh, I got to see what she looks like. You know what I mean?
Well, let's be fair. In the comic book annals of history, or however you want to put it, her costume isn't necessarily the best costume in the world. It's kind of cheesy, but men like it, I think. I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
Well, men who are furries maybe like it.
Well, I just meant because it's skin tight, but yeah, it's basically just a skin tight cheetah pajamas. I mean, that's all it is. But we did find something via the internet, as we always do. We may have a look at what she could possibly look up like in character.
See, now Kristen Wiig seems like it's casting against type.
Yeah, here's an image from a what looks like a mug. Now, I don't know where this was on display necessarily, but that's an official Wonder Woman logo there.
Producto Official.
But anyway, here's a better look at what she could be looking, because she's got the cheetah outfit going on here. But this almost again goes with the Dennis O'Neil kind of vibe. I don't know.
Very bare, minimalist kind of, like a 1980s action movie. That's what it reminds me of. Like, I don't want to call it cheap.
I had a weird feeling that this character was going to turn into Jim Carrey or Electro or whatever. What she's going to do is make a wish that she was as cool and powerful as Wonder Woman. And then she's just going to happen to see this outfit. We already know from the one part of isn't she like a zoologist or some shit like that anyway or something? And she'll end up just choosing that as her name. It's going to be very generic-ish, I have a feeling. What do you guys think?
I think that this is pre-making the Wish image, because we learned in the leaks that there is like this monkey paw wishes effect in there, and we certainly saw like a hint of that in the movie's villain. I would be probably imagine that she's going to look like this for most of the movie, and then in the final act she's going to want some leopard powers or something like that, and she's going to get them, but at the cost of becoming like this human cheetah thing, and then she's going to be horrified, like, this is not what I wanted, and she got the powers, but there's the monkey paw effect, is what I would think.
That's possible, but I thought since she was all frumpy looking before, and now she's all like, you know, glamour sexy in this picture here. I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
I think Andre's pretty close. I think there is going to be some sort of enhancement towards the end. It looks like she's just going out clubbing in this. You know, it just looks like she's going to go out on a night out on the town, some trendy LA hotspot. It looks very 80s to me.
Well,
which is what the aesthetic they're going for. Yeah, it's the aesthetic they're going for, but
that's the aspect where I get, okay, she's nerdy and frumpy and dumpy in all the pictures and what we saw her in the trailer. And then, like I said, she's all glamour shots here. Makes me feel like she just made a wish that she was as beautiful and powerful as Wonder Woman or as Diana Prince. And then this happens. But then again, she could make another wish at some point, like Andre said too. Or you guys could be more right, and then she just did it as herself, as like a makeover. And then when she's rejected at some point by either Wonder Woman in some way or somebody else in some aspect, that's when she makes the wish. It could be possible. That's my problem I'm seeing with this movie, is it's laying out this very paint by numbers. We've seen it a million times in a million other movies.
So, yeah, pretty much the whole thing with Iron Man 3 and with Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the nerdy kind of academic gets their wish fulfilled. You know, That's
Batman
too big.
Forever.
I don't like that cliche. It's Batman Forever. It's run its course. It really has. I mean, we've seen that time and time again.
Tom, any final words, and you take us out?
I'm pessimistically optimistic.
You're a human contradiction, Tom.
I always am. I'm a walking contradiction.
As for me, I think the movie is going to be fun and that it's going to do all right. I have no reason to disbelieve that at this point in time.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt until they show me something that tells me otherwise.
Is it going to make you watch the first movie?
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know if you even mentioned that. You haven't seen the first movie yet.
No, I still haven't seen the first movie. I'm like, not for any reason that I've boycotting or anything. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. That's all. Nothing against it. Just haven't seen it.
Oh, well, you hadn't got a new chance now. So it'll be interesting to hear what you think about it. And it'll be interesting to hear what you guys watching think about this trailer. So be sure to let us know in the comments.